Hello everyone. Thanks for the introduction. No, the purpose of taking the introduction is just to understand at what level every student is. Someone may be having some introduction or some work experience in SAP. Some people may not have. So just to get to an understanding of where everyone is and where I should start, I take the introduction so that if I go too fast or if I take the subjects at a faster pace, some of the students may not be able to catch it, grasp it. So that's why. Thanks for the round of introduction. I'm sure I will start at a level where everyone can understand me and follow me. Okay. And if anyone feels that I'm going fast, please stop me. Please tell me clearly that I'm going fast. And once again, welcome to the SAP BW 7.4 training. Before getting started with the actual course itself, I want to give you a small idea about what SAP BW is, what is the difference between what are the different modules of SAP, and how SAP BW works, what are the systems SAP BW connects to, and all this information. So as I said, like in today's class, I'm going to start with BW overview, BW landscape and architecture. Just to give you a brief of BW reporting tools. I'm not going to cover too much in the reporting tools today because that's a separate section altogether. That's very important, but I'll take it up towards the end when we are done with BW landscape architecture modeling and all those things. Business content, BW website. Website, when I say website, like some of the useful websites wherein if you have some problem, you should have a reference. Where do you go to find a solution for the problem? There is a network called FCN, okay, SAP Community Network. So you guys should be able to know how to go there, what is going on there, and also I'm going to give you all those online resources and everything. Okay. So right now I'm going to start with overview. Before I give you the overview of BW, I should tell you what is OLAP and what is OLTP. Okay, OLTP system, the one that is here, right? OLTP system, OLTP transaction processing, online transaction processing. OLTP means online transaction processing. Okay, it refers to a class of system that facilitate and manage transaction-oriented applications, typically for data entry and retrieval, transaction processing. Okay. OLTP also has been used to refer to processing in which the system responds immediately to user requests. The main emphasis for OLTP system is put on very fast query processing, maintain data integrity, and multi-access environments, and an effective measure by number of transactions per second. So, what is the meaning of OLTP system? Right? Let's take a simple example. Okay, let's take a simple example. A company, a product company. Product company. So we have a product company here. What are the different parts or different divisions in this company? Let's take a look at that. Okay. So first thing is sales, right? Any product company will have its sales. Obviously, the product company, when a company manufactures some product, it has to be sold. Otherwise, there's no value for it, right? Finance, right? So once the product is sold, we get income, right? So we invest in production of that product, and once we sell the product, we get the money back, we get our investment back. So we have to account for how much sales we have done. So finance takes care of all the accounting, right? Then inventory, right? So for example, inventory is obviously I have it was a company which has been in the it is a company which has been in the market for like last 40 years. So 40 years before, the demand for the product was not that great. So I used to maintain like 5 or like 100 products a month. But now the demand has increased for the product, and it's like millions of products a month. Okay, I have to keep an inventory of how much I'm producing against I am how much I'm producing against how much it's in run. The product itself is run. That means demand and supply. So based on demand and supply, I should keep my inventory. Otherwise, I will lose out opportunities, and my competition level will come down. Okay. So all these things are different parts. I'm just coding a few of them here, but there are many more things like human resources and many more things, right? Which I'm not bringing it here. Demand planning and all those things. So these are different parts, different divisions a company will generally run, not necessarily product any company. Okay, let's take sales, right? So what does happen in sales? If you guys know about sales, any company which does sales of any product, so what happens? First, customer calls in, or like different methodologies, calls in or online, or somehow comes to the store, comes to the company itself and creates a sales order, right? So this is done. This is a transaction. It is like just like you go to a bank and you order a check, or you draw money from the ATM. So these are all transactions. Just like creation of sales order is a transaction, right? And as soon as the sales order is created, once the sales order is created, the sales order is processed, the product is picked, packed, and product is sent, delivered. Delivery is created, right? So delivery creation, that is a transaction, right? Once the delivery is created, we invoice the customer, right? We have to send the customer a bill of the product cost is like $100, and I want to invoice for $100. You have to pay $100. That is a transaction, right? And once the invoice is done, accounting. As I said before, for every money that we invest, every money that we receive, right? Every amount that we receive, we have to account for that. Accounting is a transaction. So if you see here, all these are daily transactions, daily activities that go on for a company. So these are called transactions, and a system which handles these transactions is called transaction system, OLTP. So this OLTP is nothing but system online transaction processing. Okay, so this is online because this is happening every day, every time a transaction is being processed. This is happening. These activities are happening. This transaction is being processed. So that means to say it's online. Okay. So online transaction processing, OLTP system is a system which handles, which processes day-to-day activities. And these are repeating. This has to happen like this. It's not like we create one sales order a day. We create hundreds, thousands, depending upon the size of the company and the market of the product. We create lots of them and we invoice. We create 100 sales orders. We invoice 2,000 sales orders. So these are happening in a fast pace. Okay, the processing capability of this OLTP system should be very high. Okay, so that is the OLTP system. What is OLTP system? SAP BW. OLTP stands for Online Analytical Processing. Okay, SAP BW enables online analytical processing for the staging information from large amounts of operative and historical data. OLAP technology permits multidimensional analysis according to various business perspectives. Okay, so SAP BW. BW stands for Business Warehouse. This terminology BW was changed several times. Initially, they called it BI for Business Intelligence or BW. Now it is called BW. So whether we say BI or BW, it's one and the same. Okay, but today's standard, they call it, SAP calls it BW. So we will call it BW. Okay, so BI or BW is nothing but online analysis processing. Okay, online analytical processing. So what does it mean? Let's say that SAP has been implemented for 2 years now in the company. Okay, and for the last 2 years, the sales order creation, delivery creation, invoice and accounting, all these activities is happening in SAP. Now we want to know, now the volume of data that is stored in our OLTP system is quite high, and the amount of transactions that's going on in the OLTP system keeps the system busy regularly. Okay, so much of transaction is going on, the system cannot allocate time for reporting purposes. What I'm trying to say is analysis purposes. Okay, as a CEO of the company, I want to see how much sales I have done in the past year, how much sales I have done I have done 2 years before, how is my sales over the past 5 years, right? So for these things, the system has to analyze huge volume of data. Assuming that we create a lot of transactions every day, the system has to analyze huge volume of data, right? The OLTP system being a transaction system which is busy doing so many transactions a day, it cannot allocate time or resources for analysis purpose, right? That is why we have a new system called OLAP system. Okay, so OLAP system is used for analysis purposes. Okay, analysis of historical data. Okay, in general, what happens is we load data from OLTP system into OLAP system and analyze the data. So OLTP system is used for transactions. OLAP system is used for analysis. Okay, so that's what this slide says. OLTP system, online transaction processing, is used for transaction, and OLAP system, online analytical processing, is used for analysis. And OLTP system is called, in SAP, the OLTP system is ECC, and BW is OLAP system. Okay, so going forward, whenever I say ECC, that will be the OLTP system, and if I say BW, that's going to be OLAP system. Okay, moving to the next slide, it just gives you some features, distinctive features of OLTP system versus OLAP system. Source of data, OLTP system, operational data. OLTPs are the original source of data, right? The sales order is getting created in the ECC system. So ECC system is the OLTP system. So what is the source of data? Whatever is being entered, whatever is being transacted, whatever is operational. So this is the source of data, okay, operational data. So what is the source of data in OLAP system? Consolidation of data. OLAP data comes from the various OLTP databases. When I say various OLTP databases, it need not be ECC always. It need not be SAP source system always. It could be some other database also. Okay, so that's why it means various OLTP databases. OLTP is any system, not necessarily SAP system. When I say SAP, it's ECC. If it is a non-SAP system also, if it's a database, Oracle system, Oracle application, possible. It could be a transaction system. So OLAP system consolidates data from different OLTP systems. So OLAP system is not, OLAP data is not the original data. Got it? Purpose of data: to control and run fundamental business tasks. Creation of sales orders, deliveries, these are fundamental business tasks. Okay, OLTP system controls them. OLAP system to help with planning, problem solving and decision support. What was my sales 2 years back? What are my sales today? How was my sale last month? Is my revenue increasing today, or what will be my revenue next few months? So these are decision making, problem solving. So OLAP system helps in this kind of analysis. Okay, processing speed, typically very fast. Obviously, the OLTP system has to be fast. Otherwise, what happens? You see, a customer calls in for a product, 100 products, and you cannot keep him on hold for a day, Or you cannot tell him, okay, you place the order right now and we'll get back to you tomorrow. No, that's not possible. It has to be fast. Can you hold on for a moment, sir? That's just 1 minute. Acceptable, but you know, not advisable. So it has to be very fast. OLTP system has to be very fast. OLTP system depends upon the amount of data involved. So let's say 10 years worth of data. It's a huge amount of data. So any system, any OLTP system is a little bit slow. Okay, so that depends upon refresh of queries and like decision making tools. So it's not generally as fast as OLTP system. That's what it means here. Okay, database design highly normalized with many tables. Obviously, it has to happen in runtime. The transactions happen in runtime. So there are so many tables in which the data is stored. Okay, the data is highly normalized. Typically denormalized with fewer tables, use of star and snowflake schemas. I will tell you what star schema is or snowflake schema is, but that is the way of storage of data in SAP BW OLAP system. Okay, so the data in OLAP system is generally denormalized. OLTP system is normalized. Okay, backup and recovery, backup rigorously. I mean, OLTP system should be backed up rigorously. Okay, regularly, because if something goes wrong today, I have to be able to recover what happened yesterday. Okay, the system goes down today for some reason, I should be able to recover what happened till the system went down. So that means to say I should have backup of each and every transaction. Okay, so the backup has to be regular. OLTP system depends. Okay, backups are regular, or the frequency may not be as high as the OLTP system. Age of data current, obviously whatever is being transacted is stored in the OLTP system. So the OLTP system data is as current as it can be. The data that is being created, that's been saved in the system, is available in the system, right? Whereas OLTP system, it's historical. So we analyze the data for over the past few years since the time that we went live with SAP system. So the data is historical. Queries, when they mean queries, analysis of data. You can do analysis of data even in OLTP systems, which though it's not advisable, but still you can do it. So relatively standardized and simple queries. You do very small queries because you should not load the OLTP system. OLTP system is continuously transacting, continuously processing transactions. So you should not be loading the OLTP system. Okay. So whatever the queries that have to be written, like multiple complex queries, analysis purposes, you have to do it in the OLTP system. Okay. What are the base operations? Add, modify, delete, update, read, everything is possible in the OLTP system. OLTP system is only read only. It is used for analysis purposes. Data is viewed from different angles. Okay. So these are some of the main differences. Okay. The data set is generally 6 to 18 months, 2 to 7 years, after 7 to 10 years, depending upon the company and what data volume. Generally, they go for archiving. Data is archived. Okay. So these are the differences between OLTP system and OLTP system. I have a question here. Yeah, go ahead. No, as I just said, as this particular slide shows, you can definitely create reports in the OLTP system or ECC system. Okay, but as long as the report that you are building, the queries that you are building, they are small, that's fine. But if it is analyzing, like let's say instead of 6 to 18 months, they go for we want to keep the transaction data for 3 years, and if you are running the data for running a query for past 3 years, it's going to take huge amount of resources. That's going to slow down the system. Get it? That's going to slow down the response time of the transaction system. That's why, even though it is possible to write some queries, not with highly optimized tools, it is possible to write queries here, but not advised. So if you want to do any analysis, go for OLTP systems. Get it? All right. So this slide gives you a simple idea of operative environment and informative environment. Operative environment is nothing but OLTP. Informative environment is nothing but OLTP and OLAP. So enterprise strategy, business processing, customers, product orders, all these things are being processed day in and day out. Those are being processed using several business processes, and that data is fed into data warehouse. There could be some cleansing. Homogenization means you are combining data from multiple different operative environments or OLTP environments. Okay, so that data is combined, cleansed, and loaded into data warehouse and used for knowledge purposes. We generate reports and we use them for analysis or knowledge or decision making purposes. Okay, so comparison, reporting comparison, line item analysis. What is line item analysis? To the maximum possible level, the data stored in R3 system. When we say R3, it is called 3-layer architecture. SAP ECC system is called 3-layer architecture. R3 also refers to OLTP system. It's just a terminology to begin with. When SAP started, they had a R2 architecture, client and server. Now they have an R3 architecture, client, server, and database. So in R3 system, the maximum possible granular data is available. Okay, so relational or multi-dimensional analysis in BW system. Okay, delivered reports. There are some standard delivered reports, but very minor, and gives you the current snapshot of the system. It does not analyze the history. Delivered reports or business content will go into detail about business content. So basic programming predefined queries, ABAP programmers. ABAP is needed. SAP's programming language is called ABAP. Okay, so ABAP programmers can write programs. Okay, ad hoc or predefined. So BW reports, there are certain BW tools like BEX, Web Application Designer, BEX Analyzer, BEX Query Designer. Using these tools are quite user friendly, and these tools can be used to create programs. Okay, even a user once trained can create reports, whereas this ABAP programming is needed and ABAP programmers needed for that. Okay, consumes resources from transaction processing, significantly faster processing for reporting purposes. Okay, real-time analysis, generally not real-time. Okay, generally not real-time, but it could be real-time depending upon the situation, depending upon the client and the requirements. Okay, function specific, cross-functional. So this is like, for example, if we are implemented OTC, which is order to cash or finance, AP, AR, whatever it is. So it is specific to that particular function. Whereas this one in BW, you can report what is my sales, out of which what percent of my sales are hitting finance or accounting. So it's like cross-functional in BW. Okay. So what is BW? Now we know what is OLTP system and OLAP system. Okay. Just to give you another. I don't want to dwell too much into this because we already spent some time on this. So OLTP system, OLAP system. Okay, so now BW, Business Information Warehouse, is SAP's architectural solution for data warehousing. Okay, so if I show you what exactly is BW. Right, so there is a system R3. Okay, let's say there is another system which is nothing but Oracle database. Okay, Oracle database, and there is some other system. I don't know, SQL database. Okay, so there are 3 different databases, 3 different transaction systems. So the data from R3 is loaded into BW. Okay, Data from Oracle database is loaded into BW. The data from SQL database is loaded into BW, and we have reporting tools in BW. This information from all this is combined in BW, and the reporting tools are used to generate reports for analysis purposes. Okay, so reporting tools are used to generate reports. Okay, so the business information warehouse is SAP's architectural solution for data warehousing. Seamless integration with R3 system. Obviously, SAP BW and SAP R3 are SAP's products, right? SAP's parts. So SAP has provided interfaces for these systems to talk to each other. Okay, so the integration with SAP R3 system, EC system is seamless. That means to say it's very easy. Built-in functionality that substantially reduces data warehouse design, development, and maintenance. Built-in functionality. When they say built-in functionality, they have provided what is called business content. We can just enable the business content and start using them. Business content is standard SAP delivered content. Okay. BW is a separate system from R3 transaction processing system. Obviously, we know that by now, right? If you guys have any questions on the difference between OLTP and OLAP systems, please do feel free to ask, right? So BW's data structures are optimized for reporting data efficiently and quickly. R3 data structures are optimized for recording data efficiently and quickly. Okay. So this, I don't want to go through this. The value of my SAP BI completeness, the end-to-end BI solution incorporating data warehousing, OLAP, data mining, business intelligence tools, and predefined business content. So that means that the data is complete. The data that BW provides for analysis purposes is complete. Openness, as I showed you here, SAP BW can get data, can combine data from different source systems. That's what it says, allows to incorporate data from heterogeneous systems, right? Supports industry standards such as XML for analysis or ODBO for reporting and analysis. Okay, so it's open to get data from multiple systems. Performance and scalability. A proven solution with that generated and loaded 5.5 terabytes data warehouse. Okay, it can hold that kind of data. Business operation integrates business process, provides centralized metadata repository with a consistent business semantic, ready to go templates and best practices, horizontal and vertical business content. So centralized metadata repository. So here if you see the data from R3 system or EC system, Oracle database and SQL database flow into SAP BW, right? So if you look into SAP BW system, you can get all the data. If you are going to individual systems, in R3 system, I don't know what the data in Oracle database looks like. Similarly, in Oracle system, I don't know what R3 data looks like. But in SAP system, you know what the data looks like from both the systems. So centralized metadata repository. Okay. Actionable information obviously supports decision making. We have seen that what is this used for, like analysis of my sales data and other things, right? So actionable information. So data warehousing key capabilities: extraction, transformation, and loading. Data warehouse management, business modeling. So we will go in depth about each of these topics, but for now you should understand that data warehousing has all these components, like extraction of data. Like for example, data that is in R3 has to come into BW. That process is called extraction. Okay, so these are all some features of SAP BW system. Okay, suite of tools: query designer, manage reporting and analysis, visualization by using web application designer, collaboration. Pre-configured business content. I told you, like SAP delivers business content Okay, the content, standard delivered content. So we just have to enable the content and start using them and customizing them as and when we need it based on the customer requirement. And these are the query tools that SAP has provided: Query Designer, Bex Analyzer, Web Application Designer. Using these tools, you can build reports and analyze the data, historical data. Okay. All right. So in general, or in principle, SAP BW architecture can be divided into 3 layers. There will be a source system. Whatever the system that provides data to the SAP BW is called source system. SAP R3 is a source system. Oracle database is a source system. SQL DB is a source system. Okay. So here we are not going to deal with these systems as source systems in this course. Okay, Oracle or SQL. I just named it just to give you an idea, but in this course we are going to concentrate on SAP R3 system. Okay, so SAP R3 system is a source system. Source system data is extracted into SAP BW server. Okay, so data is extracted from source system into SAP BW server. Okay, store master and transaction data. What is master and transaction data? We'll come to know in detail when I go actually into the course. But right now we can say that master data is flow changing. Transaction data is whatever is happening day-to-day activities. Okay, master data is it doesn't change in general. Transaction data changes. Okay, so it is staged in BW server and then it is modeled into info provider. Okay. Then Bex Analyzer, or using different tools which we connect to SAP BW server, we run reports. So 3 processes. Number 1, ETL stands for extraction, transformation and loading, right? Data modeling and reporting. These are the main purpose of SAP BW system: ETL, modeling, reporting. Okay, these are the 3 layers of SAP BW system. Okay, so just to give you an overview of this, I'm going to show you what SAP system is. All of you are going to get access to this particular system. Come on, it's a little bit slow for some reason. I'll just log into this again. Please bear with me for some time. Yes, all of you guys are going to get a user ID and a password for this system, and you guys can log in with your IDs and I'd say can get your hands dirty. The more you play with these systems, the better for you guys. Okay, so this is called SAP Logon Pad. This is where you log on to the SAP systems. We have once you have the system right up, you will see this BW 7.4 on SAP HANA SP7 and ECC. We have SAP HANA as a database in our systems. So double click on this and enter your user ID and password that have been provided to you. That's how you log into the system. See, previously I was logged in, I closed the session, and that session is still there. So you can either continue with this and end any other logons, or continue with this and keep the other logons. I'm going to do this. Okay. That's fine. All right. So this is the OLAP system. So if I log on to ECC, it's in general the same user ID and password, and use log on to a particular client. So the client is, there could be different clients. Right now the client that we log on to in ECC system or R3 system is 800. Okay, there could be multiple clients. So as and when I go into the course, as and when I'm telling you the extraction process, that's when I'm going to give you what are the different clients and what are they used for and how can they be configured. And it varies from client to client, system to system, but I'll give you general overview. Okay, so this is OLTP system. This is the other one is OLAP system. Don't go by these pictures, background pictures. They could be the same or they could be different, but the way you identify system, whether it is BW system or not, is here. SAP NetWeaver 7.4. So here it says SAP ECC 6.0. So ECC 6.0 is R3 or ECC system, whereas NetWeaver 7.4 is BW system. Okay, so BW started long time back. No, I don't want to go to the history, but still BW version history started with 3.0, BW 3.0. To be frank with you, I had very limited experience. I had limited exposure to 3.0, 3.0B. Okay, and then 3.5, then started 7.0. So from 3.5 to 7.0 we call 7.0. That was a big jump. A lot of changes, a lot of new features were implemented. Okay, then they implemented what are called enhancement packages. Okay, so once they released several enhancement packages, we had after 7.0, 7.0 enhancement package 1 was termed as 7.1. Okay, 7.0, my bad. 7.0 enhancement package 2 is called 7.2 version of SAP BW. So that way 7.0 EHP3 is 7.3, and currently we are on 7.0 enhancement package 4. It's called 7.4. Okay, so right now the latest level of SAP BW is 7.4. 7.4 was released recently. Okay, so that's why it says, if you go here, it says SAP NetWeaver 7.4. Okay, so that's how you identify a BW system against a ECC system or R3 system. Got it? So RSA1, please note down this transaction. RSA1 is the basic transaction, the most used transaction in SAP BW. Okay, so you know something or you don't know something. If you are a BW consultant or BW employee or BW person, you should know this. Okay, so please make a note of this particular transaction, RSA1. If you want to see how RSA1 looked in the older 3.5 version, just hit RSA1 old. Okay, it takes some time because nobody uses RSA1 old these days. So this is how it was looking. Okay, this is the RSA1 in 3.x or 3.5 version, and RSA1 is 7.0 version. There are a lot of changes, a lot of features which I will explain you as and when I go into the course. Okay, so this is SAP BW 7.4 system. Got it? So the reason I came in to show you the system is this, the components. Okay, so what are the components? SAP R3, non-SAP data sources, file, XML, DSO, InfoCube, DEX, web application designer. So I just wanted to show you these things here. Okay, so if you go to info providers, I will tell you in detail, but you don't have to worry. I just want to show you what is InfoCube and all those things. Okay. See, somebody has created from the previous training session. Mr. Kumar has created an InfoCube by name IC_Kumar. Okay, InfoCube are represented by this particular symbol. This symbol represents InfoCube. InfoCubes are the multi-dimensional model of the SAP BW. Okay, InfoCubes incorporate star schema or snowflake schema. Okay, and I don't know if they have. No, they haven't created. So okay, that is an InfoCube, and let me see if there is here. See this particular symbol here. This is nothing but a DSO, data store object. Okay, so that I will definitely explain you in maximum possible detail about DSO, InfoCube, everything, etc. Okay, but just to give you an overview, I'm showing you this. So BW, InfoCube, DSO, there's many more data targets. Okay, from here it goes to DEX reporting tools. I'll show you the reporting tools later. Okay, I wanted to show you what we call source systems. Right now, if you see here, EH5 client 100, client 800. This is the source system that we saw here. Right? This is the ECC system. Okay, so this is a source for this BW system. If you click on the source systems tab here, you will see all the source systems for this BW system. So ECC or R3 system is one source. LS I think stands for logical system for 001. BW system, there is a source system called myself source system, or like SAP BW itself is a source system for SAP BW. I'll tell you in what scenarios it's being used, all those things, but just give you an overview. This is a BW system, myself source system. This is an ECC source system. If you see here, these are flat file source systems. We can load data from flat files into SAP. So if I have, as I showed you in this particular slide presentation, if there is an Oracle database, right? If there is an Oracle database as a source system, that will come here, DB Connect. So for any database like for like Oracle database, those are connected to SAP BW system using DB Connect. Okay, so info provider, we have InfoCubes, DSOs, there are info sets. I will explain you everything, but I'm just giving you the names here. And then info objects. Info objects are the basic building blocks of BW system. Okay, SAP like I'll show you a symbol. I just want to show you a symbol here. See this. This is an info object, language, key, level of hierarchy. Note these are all info objects. Okay, these are minute possible building blocks or objects of SAP BW system. Right? So that is SAP BW architecture. So source systems, DSO, InfoCube, reporting. Okay. So ETL, this gives you the same thing again. ETL, so BW server, and then the reporting tools. So some of the terminologies: info cubes, operational data store. This is an old terminology we used to call ODS before. Now in like 3.5 version we used to call them ODS. Now, okay, now these are called data store objects. Info objects, characteristics, key figures, query, and workbooks. I'm just throwing you some terminologies here. Just remember them. Even if you don't, I'm going to come back to these things and explain these things to you in detail in the future classes. Okay, so you don't have to worry, but just make a note if possible, and if you have a pen and paper next to you. Okay, so what is an info cube? Okay, let's start with that.